Hello everyone, Namaste once again. So this video is about learning disabilities. We discussed earlier about how we learn, but now this video is about how some children face a lot of difficulty in learning because of certain issues which are inherent in them. So let's know more about learning in disabilities and how teachers can help in remediation. Yes, so every year a lot of students enroll in schools, but some of them drop out. This is because they can't handle the pressure, the educational demands are too difficult for them, and hence they decide to discontinue. Beyond factors like sensory impairment, intellectual disability, or socioeconomic factors, it could be poor economic conditions, cultural beliefs and norms, all these factors, but something else too, like learning disabilities, which create a lot of difficulty for these children to acquire knowledge and skills in schools. So, what are learning disabilities? They are a group of disorders, and these are seen as difficulty in reading, writing, speaking, reasoning, math, and these sources are inherent in the child, along with physical handicap, sensory impairment, intellectual disability, or even without them. So, we usually see some children writing mirror images. This is also because of learning disability, but initially you might see it very often, but it can be remedied with intervention. So, children with average to superior intelligence show learning disabilities, and they do have adequate sensory motor systems and learning opportunities, but they still show these difficulties. And if they are not remedied, they continue throughout their life. So, what are the symptoms of learning disabilities? These children show language difficulties, and these symptoms exist in spite of their intelligence, their hard work, and their motivation, because there are certain factors which are inherent in the child. So, they show trouble in writing letters, phrases, words, the reading their text, talking to people, communicating, maintaining a conversation, and even difficulty in listening, though they have no auditory defects. They could also show attention disorders. You may have heard of ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. They're easily distracted and they cannot focus on any activity for more than a few minutes, a couple of minutes. This often leads to hyperactivity and they start tampering the material around. They also face space and time issues like poor orientation to surroundings. When you take them to new places, they're likely to get lost. And they have confusion with directions and a weak sense of time. They're either too early or too late. And they show difficulty in motor coordination. This is seen especially with poor balance and manual dexterity. They usually find difficulty in riding a bicycle, even later as they grow, driving a car, and so on. Also, tasks like sharpening pencils, the fine motor ability is less in such children. Sharpening pencils, tying shoelace, and so on. They also show perceptual disorders like visual, auditory, tactile, and kinesthetic misperception. And they fail to judge people because they find it difficult to understand body language. They can't distinguish who's friendly and who's indifferent to them. And most of these children have dyslexia, they have this confusion between similar looking letters and even words which have similar looking letters. So therefore, this leads to difficulty in copying letters from the board and organizing verbal material. So remediation classes, quite a few schools have, and this goes a long way to helping these children acquire skills and cope with other students. So early intervention definitely helps, and educational psychologists have come up with appropriate techniques and teaching aids for correcting most of these symptoms. Otherwise, if they are not remedied, these learning disabilities can continue to last throughout their lifetime, and this will definitely affect their self-esteem, their vocation or their profession, their social relations, and daily living. So, with this, we come to the end of the chapter on learning. I will see you again next in the next chapter. Thank you so much.